There it is, you guys. There it is. The news obviously got announced just about an hour ago that Trent will leave Liverpool. He's officially announced it in his farewell video. Liverpool put out a statement that he's going to leave the club. Fabrizio Romano has said, here we go. So he's going to be joining Real Madrid. It looks like it's going to be a 6-year deal. Obviously, he's joining on a free. And guys, I just want to know, how are all of you guys feeling? How are you feeling in terms of just emotionally? What's your reaction like towards Trent? I'll share mine, but I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Um, Look, Patrick says we don't need players who don't want to be here. Absolutely. I'm going to share my thoughts, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts too. But big moments like this, I just want us to share together on a community, because I know there's a lot of emotions involved. That's the beauty of being a football fan, the ups and the downs. This obviously feels like a down because it really, really hurts. He's one of our generational players to come through the team, and he's decided to join Real Madrid rather than staying at Liverpool. So, guys, let me know. Let me know how you're feeling now that it's been made official. Me personally, I can't. I see some people are like, oh, wish him the best. Wish him the best for the rest of his career, this and that. He's a legend of the club. I'm sorry, I'm never going to be aggressive towards a player or wish anyone harm. I think that's just stupid, because he's a human being at the end of the day, and we will be fine without him. That's for sure. We're going to be fine without him. But I can't say I'm going to wish him the best. Why? Because he's playing for Real Madrid. I do not like that football club. Even prior to this, way prior to this, I do not like Liverpool football. Real Madrid. I do not like Real Madrid, and the fact that he's decided to go to that club of all clubs, for me, I just lose. I lose respect in terms of that sense. But then also, there are rivals in Europe. No matter what people say, there are a major rival for us in Europe. So I do see Real Madrid as a rival. Those two Champions League finals we lost were so painful. Um, Ashton, thank you for the super chat. It says, I want to cry. About 6 years, was hoping for a return. Oh, you really thought there would be a return. Big up Mudkips, who says, pissed that with all the things he said about our club, he decided to leave on a free. And Skeet says, hi Leo, how are you? I think he has a massive ego. I'm struggling. I have to be honest. I'm struggling because you guys heard me. You guys heard me not long ago. I always had hope that he would change his mind, seeing what it means to win with Liverpool Football Club. And I'm sorry. I definitely think he's just going to be another player at Real Madrid. Why? Look at what's happening with Kylian Mbappe, for example. He's not had a bad, especially the second half of the season. He's not been bad for Real Madrid. Just because the results haven't been good for Real Madrid this season, their own fans booed him in their own stadium. I'm just saying that's what the Real Madrid fans are like, and that's kind of the expectations of that football club. And I just think he's going to be just another player. He's going to be just another player, and I think it's okay for us to be annoyed, to be mad, to lose respect. But like I said, never wish harm on a person. I mean, he's a human being at the end of the day, and he wants a new challenge, which many people in real world, guys, if we put ourselves, I can't put myself in his shoes, though. I got to be real. I can't put myself in his shoes because I'm not a born Scouser. I'm not from the city of Liverpool, and yet I can't imagine anything better than winning for Liverpool, because of how much I know it just means to be a supporter of this football club. So I can't understand. I just can't understand how he's a huge Liverpool fan. It means everything to him. And yet he leaves when we're at the pinnacle of where we can be, and he can help us to grow the history of this football club. That's where I'm just like, I can't really fathom the decision, because yes, he's a human being. Yes, I understand living abroad and playing for Real Madrid, this and that. But bro, like, the rest of your life, you can live abroad. Like, you can live wherever you want for the rest of your life. Like, once you retire, like, you only get one career. You know what I mean? But it's just crazy. It's just crazy, because I think a lot of us still had a bit of hope. And some of that is, obviously, that's all gone now. System says I started crying. What next, right back, other than Bradley? Patrick says, I just don't know how you can grow up with a club and have the love for the club, yet you're still willing to throw it all away for some fancy lifestyle. Now he's just another player. I'm sorry, that's how I feel. I'm sorry. But yeah, guys, just there's a few quotes that I want to read with you guys. There's a few that I want to read. First off, just FYI for you guys, just FYI, this decision was not related to money, because look, this is a quote from an article that said Liverpool offered him huge financial packages. He would have been one of the best paid players at the club. And we know for both Verge and Salah, for them to stay, we offered them £400,000 a week, which is a lot of money. And apparently we're willing to offer him a lot of money as well to stay, because we knew how good he was. But nothing would have changed his mind. Nothing would have changed his mind, because he knew he wanted that change of environment. He knew he wanted to move to Real Madrid. And that decision apparently was made quite a long time ago. And the reports did say it, to be fair. This just shows these are the moments where you got to trust the reports. You know what I mean? Evil says, this is why football is a beautiful and painful sport. Even as a United fan, this makes me sick. I've already moved on anyways, says Luke Edits. I really hope Conor gets some opportunities next season to step up. He's such a good guy and a baller as well. I know we'll sign a right back now, but I love Conor and hope he gets a chance to. Yeah, me too, but he just needs to stay fit. We just got to find a way for him to stay fit, because nobody doubts his ability. Everybody's doubting right now what's going on behind the scenes in terms of all these knocks that he's picking up. You know, that's the only thing. Otherwise, no doubt about it. Sangeet says he's just another player from now on. He's just another player. That's exactly it. Big up, Sonny. Thank you for the super chat. Nice to see you in the building. Who says nobody should be calling Trent a traitor. He isn't. He deserves to do what he wants in his career. He'll be back. I mean, I don't really want him back, Sonny. I gotta be honest. Like, he's gonna be signing a 6-year deal with Real Madrid. How old is he? 26 now. He'll be 32 when that deal ends, at least. Do we want to? I don't know. You know, it's about emotions. I don't know how I'll feel in a year's time, but like I said, it's just traitor. I think is too far, because again, he's the one that worked to get to where he is today. He's the one that had the ability in the first place. He's delivered for us all these years. He had legendary moments for us, but like I said, for me, just the respect is gone. That's all. My respect is gone, because like I said, I'm just hugely disappointed that he doesn't see that this is it. You know, I told you guys this before, but for me, Jamie Carragher put it in the most respectful yet truthful way, which is just disappointment that he doesn't think this is it. For me, it's as simple as that. It's just, you're winning a Premier League title with Liverpool. You've won a Champions League with Liverpool. What more except lifestyle is Real Madrid going to bring you? And what more lifestyle do you need when you're already earning millions and you have these brand deals and you have this stuff, you know? But that, at least that's just for me, a philosophy in life. Like, how much do you need? I think about that in my own life all the time. It's like, how many, like, I'll put it in the content creation space. How much subscribers do you need to be happy? How much money do you need to earn per month to be happy? And when you really think about it deep down, for me, you don't need that much. There's so many materialistic things that I think just don't matter in the end when you think about it deep down. And again, I understand it's not just about lifestyle. It's about wanting a new challenge, living in a new city, this and that. But for me, that's something you can do for the rest of your life. Like, it's not like when you retire, you die. Like, there's so many opportunities that come after, like, that you can do, and you travel around the world. And when you've been a world-class player, trust me, you're going to get lots of opportunities. For me, that's the part that I just don't quite understand, where when I think about it deep down in my own life, and like I said, I'm not a scouser, so I'm not in the best position to answer this, but for me, it's the pinnacle to win trophies with Liverpool when you love this football club. For me, it's the pinnacle. And like I said, I just don't like Real Madrid as a club. And for me, I think for a lot of us, that's what hurts even more. The fact that I don't like Real Madrid as a club because of how they behave off the pitch, lack of respect, the egos around that you see at that football club. For me, it's just the opposite of what football should be. And he's decided to be part of that. Let's be real. He's decided to be part of that and be part of that history. But I don't know. Skeet says he's obviously a club legend, but as Peter Drury said, how could he walk away from this? I think after being said, he'd rather win the Ballon d'Or instead of another. For me, yeah, we go back to that interview. Instead of another UCL, I kind of knew he was going to leave. For me, that was it too. But it goes back to me about where I lose respect. And again, and I agree, Patrick, we're not going to dwell on this too long, but today's the day it got announced officially, so we are going to talk about it, you know what I mean? I really want this to be a space where we can share our thoughts. Look, Jalapeno, nice to see you in the building. You absolute legend. Thank you for the support as always. Who says, I think it's the way he's leaving that's the problem. He's leaving his boyhood club and one of the best clubs in the world. He's going to a horrible club. Yeah, Jalapeno, but what's true too is, look, when Stevie G left when we were a much worse team, also fans couldn't fathom him leaving when he was about to leave to Chelsea. So when it's your boyhood club and it means as much to Liverpool fans as it always does, that's just what this football club is. It's just different, this football club. Then I don't think there's ever a good time to leave or a good way to leave. Because let's say he went to, I don't know, a Chelsea or a City, that would have been just as bad, if not worse. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's a good way to leave Jalapeno because it's always going to be a heartbreak for us. But I do think the best way to put it, at least the way, because I've been thinking about it now for months, obviously, because we've known this was probably going to happen. For me, like I said, it's just lost respect for the human being and the player. But like I made a video about this quite a long time ago. I told you guys the moment for me where I completely changed my mind on him in terms of the mentality. And I understand every kid's dream is to win a Ballon d'Or, this and that. But nah, bro, I'm sorry. When he had that interview on Sky Sports and he was asked, and I know I've talked about this before and it's just an interview, but for me it says it all. And for me it says it all about just like when I play, and again, I play amateur level, but it's just my way of seeing the world. I don't care about my individual success. You think like I care about reaching 1 million subscribers. Like, yes, it's nice to reach 1 million subscribers, or it's nice to reach 2 million subscribers. But at the end of the day, like, is this world about you? No, it's not. Like, this world is about us sharing special moments together. And that's why for me, my goal on this channel was never, and this is just like to give an example, my goal on this channel was never like an individual accolade to say, oh, my dream one day is to reach 1 million subscribers because suddenly I'm going to be this like goated YouTuber or I'm going to be like the best YouTuber, this and that. Nah, bro, that's not what matters in life. What matters in life is what you mean to other people and how you're able to spread positive energy to around other people and the community you build around yourself. That for me is what life is all about. And that's why I think when you play a team sport, it's all about doing everything for the team, but the fans above all. And where I do respect Trent is the years he's given to this football club. He has given everything and he's delivered for us 100%. But I'm saying from here on in, this kind of big decision, for me, the reason I lose respect after such a big decision is, for me, it just tells you where his mind is and his entourage. And he does choose his entourage. And for me, that's just where my opinions on the player change. But again, I do think it's still fair to say thank you for what you've delivered for the club, because he has delivered us. He's been a key player in the trophies, but I can't say good luck. I can say thank you, but I can't say good luck because, like I said, he's going to play for Real Madrid, which is a rival of Liverpool in his own words. For anybody that says Real Madrid isn't a rival to Liverpool, those are his own words in an interview like 6 months ago, bro. Saying in Europe, Real Madrid is our biggest rival because of the history they have in that competition. LSE Avery, thank you for the super chat, who says, I understand he wants a new challenge, but the way he leaves us, nothing is so much as painful. He was our homegrown boy. He's my favorite Liverpool player of all time, and he's my profile picture everywhere. LSE Avery, I know you're not the only one, and, you know, I'm sending my love. I'm sending a whole lot of love to you because I know many of us are aching right now, and many of us are heartbroken because I know, even though so many people around me, fellow Reds that I'm friends with, were telling me, Leo, stop getting your hopes up. It's so obvious he's going to leave. I always had hope, but that's just how I am. You know, that's just how I am. Big up MR, thank you for the super chat as well, who says, let's focus on a replacement. Bradley will step up, but we need a replacement. I mean, he could have signed a 1-year extension and left like Jack Grealish. No, that's not true though. That's one thing that isn't true, MR. Because Real Madrid, and again, this is why I don't like Real Madrid as a football club. Trust me, they would have peer pressured Trent in a major way, and they do this with free signings I've seen in the past. They've been speaking to Trent for a long time, and they would have said, if you don't want to join us on a free, we're going to look for another target. Real Madrid loves to get top players on a free transfer, just like Kylian Mbappe. They did the same thing. They were not willing to pay. This is how Real Madrid does things. So I'm sure they would have done something where they would have said, "We're not going to get you unless the contract is done." You know. Aiva Marie, thank you for the super chat. Who says, as a Scouser, I couldn't think of anything better. What do you mean you couldn't think of anything better? Leo, chill. Dude, chill. Let him be happy. I told you, I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to say thank you. Kat says, please don't be sad, Leo. Just feel happy for him. He has done a lot for us, like the last minute corner against Barcelona. Like I said, Kat, like, trust me, my mentality is to say thank you for all the moments that he's delivered. I just said that. I do think he's had a lot of legendary moments for us, and I don't think we would have won all those trophies without him. So absolutely, he's delivered for this football club, and we can be thankful for that. But like I said, when I think about the future, I'm sorry, but I can't wish the best for a player who goes to a rival club and what Real Madrid represents as a football club. I can't do that personally, but I can say thank you. But like I said, my opinion just on the person changes for me. That's it. LFC God says, thanks for everything, Trent. Remember meeting you. Did you meet him, LFC God? When did you meet him? Bro, I don't think that's hate. I really don't think you can call that hate, because all I said since the beginning is I would never send him any hate. He's a freaking human being, and he decides what his own life, like I said, it's his own life. Of course he decides all that. I just said my opinion on the player changes from here on in. That's all. That's all. For the reasons that I told you, for things like wanting individual awards before team awards. Thank you, Trent, for all the moments. You'll never be forgotten. You're a legend, says Rauf. Sophia says, I'd rather him go if he has doubt in his mind. It was obvious he was going to me. I don't know how. I think he's mad, but I'm not losing sleep over it. But in a couple years, he might be. I know it's a cliche and people have been saying this, but it's true. This is why he can never be seen in the same light as Stevie G, 100%. But also, he's not the player Stevie G was. We can't send personal hate messages to Trent for this. Absolutely not. Playing for Liverpool, I meant. Playing for Liverpool. I couldn't think of anything better than playing for Liverpool. I get what you mean. Yeah, Marie, I understand. But you see, that's what I mean too, and that's what Virgil and Salah said as well when they extended. And look, like I said, I wasn't born, and this is why you Scousers, you understand that even if we're for fans that weren't born in the city of Liverpool, you know that it means a whole lot to us, because look at some of the players that have decided to be loyal over the years. And I got to know some of the legendary players of Liverpool who aren't from the city of Liverpool, and trust me, it means the world to them, just like Liverpool means the world to me. And that's just what I meant, where I can't imagine anything better than winning for the team that you support, which he would have continued to have done. That's all. Ronnie says, I completely agree. Liverpool and Real Madrid are two huge rivals in Europe, and we lost 2 Champions League finals against them, and now he's leaving on a free, though. That I'm not too fussed about. And guy, like you were saying, don't be so sad. Trust me, from tomorrow on, I'm not going to be sad, because like we were saying, we don't want anybody who doesn't want to be at the football club. So trust me, I'm not going to be sad. But I'm most definitely not going to be watching Real Madrid players to see how he gets on. I'm sorry. I'm just not. Like, I couldn't care less about that. All I care about is the success of Liverpool. And we will be fine without him. Trust me. Back in the day, if Stevie G had left us, maybe we would have really struggled, because that was a bad Liverpool team, and he was a much better player than Trent, let's be real. But bro, in this moment in time, like, I know we're going to be okay. Don't you worry about that. We will absolutely be okay. It's just, like I said, it's just disappointment. MR says, chin up, Leo. Let's not get it. Let's get in the right player slot once and move on. I honestly felt more hurt when Torres left, but we were in our dark days. Yeah, we were in our dark days indeed. But yeah, no, I completely agree. But trust me, this is just, like, again, this is part of football. Like, feeling emotions like that, we gotta let ourselves feel emotion. Like, I'm not trying to go through life, and this for me is the beauty of football. The fact that there are emotions involved. For me, it's an embodiment of what life is, which life is going to be full of ups and downs, and I want to embrace the ups and downs. And this feels like a minor blip, a minor down, because we know how good of a player he is, and I'm not going to ever change. You guys know I'm not the type to sulk like this. Trust me, I'm not the type to sulk like this. I'm still going to call him the best right back in the world, whether he plays for us or for Real Madrid. And I still think he's elite, world class, all of these things. I'm not just going to suddenly like change that. Like I think he's absolutely elite and he's one of a kind. But like I said, we will be fine without him. We're going to find creativity in other areas, and it's going to be an opportunity for Conor Bradley and whoever else comes in. You know what I mean? Yeah, Skeet, I will. I will. I'm gonna bring in a Conor Bradley sticker. I know, but Crunch, we shouldn't be depressed for like seriously from tomorrow on. From tomorrow on, I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be fussed whatsoever. Just because I know just how much we're gonna be fine without him. Will I miss him? Sekan, yes, I'm gonna miss some of the beautiful moments he delivered, but at the same time, I'm not really gonna miss someone who doesn't want to be at the club. Just like in my own life, I've lost friends over the years. You know, I've moved a lot of I moved countries 3 times. I've moved many cities. If I feel, for example, that I've lost friends along the way, you know, I'm 25 now. If I felt that a friend wasn't as interested in being my friend as I was, and we lost contact over something, I'm not going to be fussed about that. Like, I really do think everything happens for a reason, especially with deep connections like that. And for me, like, it's the same, like with friendship, for example, just because it's something I've really experienced many times. If something falls away, like, I'm not too fussed after that, because it's like I'm not going to give full energy to someone that's not interested on the other side of things. You know what I mean? And for me, it's the same thing with Trent, like same mentality, which is like Trent did not want to be at Liverpool anymore. He decided he would rather be at Real Madrid, you know? And so for me, am I going to be fussed about that anymore? Not at all. What am I fussed about? Conor Bradley, who delivered against Chelsea just now when he came on. He had beautiful impact this weekend, even though we lost. He's a top player. Whatever right back comes in, I'm going to give their full support. But I'm not fussed about Trent from here on in. I'm sorry. I'm not fussed. Patrick says, well, it's official. Trent will never be invited on the Leo's Cooks channel to make any delicious Spanish dishes. Let you know, yeah. LFC Avery, thank you for the support. He says 6 month on my alternative account and only 2 on my main. LFC Avery, the support means the world. You absolute legend. I'm going to crash. No. Isaac, I don't think Frimpong is the type of player that suits slot system, but I could be wrong. I don't think he's the one that we're going to go for. Yeah, I'm going to be changing stickers, Elliot, I promise. The Vicar, thank you for the super chat. Says this move is going to make him worse because now he's surrounded by young, selfish players wanting to be the star guy. Hopefully he does an Henri and return. I don't know. I'm not too fussed, like I said, about a return or him coming back or any of this. Not too fussed. Sophia says this club, this city is different. Every kid here admires him. I don't know how he wants to go, but oh well. No player is bigger than the club, especially not Trent. We have Bradley, and we've won the league. Exactly, Sophia. You always put it so freaking beautifully. You always put it so freaking beautifully. You know? I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you guys. Ellis says, I think it's best for everyone if he leaves. He doesn't. No, he does like our club. See, again, that I can't say either. I do think he still has love for Liverpool, but like I said, I understand those of us that feel like we lose respect because it says everything about the mentality. Sonny, thank you again, who says, I wish everyone in the chat would stop spending hate and calling Trent a traitor. Have respect for him. It's immature. Grow up, guys. Sonny, though, again, it's like if I was in Trent's entourage, I would say the same thing. In football, there's emotions. There's always going to be emotions involved. And I'm sure lots of people calling him a traitor now are just going to feel different in a week's time when the emotions have died down. So, like, I'm not... You can't take anything that people say too seriously because, again, that is the beauty of football too, how much it means to people. And yes, there's going to be darker moments and there's going to be things that we say that we maybe regret. But in the end, like I said, we're going to move on and we're going to be just fine without him. We are going to be just fine without him. And that's the most important thing, because what's the most important thing? The success of Liverpool Football Club and players who give it absolutely everything. And what I will say, like I previously said, I do think it's fair to just say thank you. Simply just say thank you, because he has played many, many years with us and he has delivered and he has given his all. And that I am grateful for. I won't forget that. I won't forget that. But I just won't see the player in the same way anymore. That's it. Simply put. Jalapeno, thank you, who says, let's just at least give him a good farewell. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like I said, simple thank you, but not much more. Simple thank you, I think. Big up Toby, thank you for the super chat as well, who says we will be fine, but he shouldn't get a mic on the last day. I will clap him, but he's made it all about himself. Hit as a captain, hit in games. Bye. That's what I mean too. For me, it's like I will say thank you, but very simple thank you. Very simple thank you, because he's going to Real Madrid, like I said, and we will very, very likely play Real Madrid next season, with especially with the new Champions League format, and he will be trying to beat us. That's just the reality of what that move means. You know what I mean? And I think that's really well put, the way you've put it there, Toby. Maka, thank you as well for the super chat. Kian says, glad Bradley can play. He plays with so much passion and he's my new right back. Absolutely. Nah, LFC Avery, you're a freaking legend. I see your I see your two channels. Absolute legend. Would have been worse if Virgil and Salah didn't extend. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. You'll never walk alone. Absolutely, Martin. Big up LFC legend. What do I think about a replacement? I don't think it's the one everybody's saying. A lot of you guys are saying Frimpong, and seeing the way Slot sets up in this season that we've gone to see. For me, it seems like he wants a right back who can first and foremost defend at a top level, and then of course can have that kind of impact on the attacking side of things. But where I don't think Frimpong is going to be the one is because defensively, that's just not his forte, and that's why I think he's probably more suited to play in an Alonso type system, which is a right wing back. So really, really focusing more on the attacking side of things and not depending on that player defensively. So I probably think we're going to bring in a right back who, like I said, first and foremost has that ability to be a top defender, and then developing the attacking side of the game. But I could be wrong. We'll see. Patrick says, will it be on the bus or will he just be in Spain? I don't personally think he'll be on the bus or get thrown stuff at him by people. I think he'll be on the bus. I definitely think he will be on the bus, because he did play his part in us winning the Premier League this season. So I really definitely think he'll be on the bus. And he's not officially a Real Madrid player until July 1st. And obviously the parade is in May, you know? Liverpool X edits, I would love a Kirkez and Conor Bradley duo next season, but like I was saying previously, it all depends on Conor Bradley staying fit, and the reason we definitely have to sign a right back is because from what we've seen in the past 2 seasons, we can't depend on Conor Bradley just yet because of those issues, you know, and if he does get injured, we have to have someone else there, because we can't. Joe Gomez, if he stays, you know, we've seen him pick up injuries, and Kwanzaa isn't it at right back, so I definitely think we need to sign a right back, you know. Yeah, Callaghan's going to be leaving too. This is going to be an emotional summer for us. I think, Patrick, I definitely think he will be on the parade bus. I definitely think, because like I said, he's still a Liverpool player. Nah, Hakimi would cost way too much. Bro, PSG is not a club that needs to sell, so he would cost minimum 80 million. There's no way we're going to spend that big on that position when we need to spend big already in 3 positions, which is in the striker position, left back, and center back. So I think most definitely we'll probably go for a young right back who already is at a good level but can develop in a major way. I definitely don't think we're going to go big on a player like Hakimi, that's for sure. Ashwini, I think he's going to get a low-key reception at Anfield, like the way I feel. The Scousers I've spoken to It's this thing of just being like, thank you and goodbye. Very simple. Not too, like, just let's move on. Let's move on. You know what I mean? And just saying a simple thank you because he has delivered for us, like I said. And he has, the time that he has been here, he has been a legend. Frimpong, yes, he does have a release clause, but like I said, I'm not so sure that he is the type of right back that Arne Slot would want. In the wise words of King Kenny, by the way, oh, I gotta do a quote post on this. The most important people at Liverpool Football Club are the ones that want to be here. King Kenny. Let me just verify that this is a real quote because sometimes people spread false quotes. Yeah, and Trent did say that he wants to come back to Anfield and watch as a supporter in the future. He said that in his farewell, yeah. Again, Nuno Mendes, no chance it happens. PSG aren't a club that needs to sell. Look at their ownership. It's the same thing with the Newcastle, for example. Don't understand why everyone is so sad. He couldn't defend. Nah, Red Magician. Just because I'm also very emotional in this moment in time, I can't, bro. I can't say that he's not a big loss for the football club, bro. There's no way. You reckon he was offered a great, bro? You guys haven't seen. Let me read this. He was offered a huge contract by Liverpool apparently, and he didn't decide to go for financial reasons. He just wanted a new challenge, new opportunity. But this is a report from James Pearce, which said Liverpool offered to make Trent the highest paid fullback in the Premier League and one of the highest paid players in world football. And how do we know that this is true as well? Look at the contracts. And this is why anybody who's blaming this on FSG, like you don't know what you're talking about, because they were willing to sanction £400,000 a week for Virgil, for example, who is in his 30s, right? £400,000 a week makes Virgil the highest paid defender in Europe. And they also offered £400,000 plus a week for Mohamed Salah. So you best believe it's not because Liverpool's ownership couldn't offer him high wages, because all the reports are saying that Liverpool were willing to offer him a long-term high contract wage. Trust me. Toby, thank you again for the super chat. He says, how many signings do you think for us, Leo, this summer? I can't see us getting 2 fullbacks, a center back, a midfielder, and a striker. Interesting summer ahead. I can't see us. Toby, you know why I can't see us getting 2 fullbacks, a center back. Okay, midfielder, I don't know, right? Midfielder, I don't know, but I definitely think we'll be getting 2 fullbacks, a center back, and a striker. That's 4 positions. That 100%, Toby. I'm really confident that those 4 positions we get 100%. But a midfielder, it all depends on who leaves. For example, if Harvey Elliott leaves in the summer, then I could see us going for a midfielder. But it all depends. All depends. I think Dean Huijsen is going to be the center back that we get. I do think it's going to be him. I really think so. I'm going to be making a video today too on who you guys think should be our vice captain now. Hold on. Patrick says he can't wear 66 for Madrid. It breaks the La Liga rules. I don't think he's too fussed about that. I think he's not too fussed about that. Alisson, vice captain. For me, it's between Alisson and Mohamed Salah. One of those two. Or Maka, bro. Maka would be great. But he hasn't been as long. Alisson, Salah, or maybe... I agree with Alisson, honestly. Yeah, I personally... Endo, no, the third captain would be Mohamed Salah, probably, right? Liverpool did make one last attempt to Trent Alexander-Arnold, apparently, but he told... See, disagree. Guys, I think this is spot on right here, and this is something I might make a video on too. The Anfield Buzz says it's more disappointment with Trent, not anger. People shouldn't care about the fee. We got him on a free. He left on a free. And we have owners that have money. It's more upsetting that he's vice captain. There's just responsibilities and expectations that come with that. I think that's so beautifully put. Because again, it's like anger isn't going to help the situation. He's made his mind already. Like for me, from here on in, we just move on. But like I said, it's just disappointment. It's just disappointment. We do need a right back though. Jeff Bloomberg, if Conor Bradley hadn't picked up any knocks or injuries in the past 2 seasons, I would have agreed with you 100%. For me, Conor Bradley, like, I trust him with every part of my body. I trust Conor Bradley and he, like, to perform for Liverpool. But for me, it's just the knocks and injuries he's picked up in the last 2 seasons that makes me think we have to sign a right back. And we can't count on, for example, Joe Gomez being a backup right back too, because he's also injury prone. And we've tested Kwanzaa right back this season. It just doesn't work, you know? Jalapeno, thank you for the super chat, who says, next time we play Madrid, let's hope Bradley slide tackles him off the pitch and gets a hat-trick of goals and assists. Bro, the next time we play Real Madrid, imagine the absolute scenes in terms of like the intensity of emotions and the rivalry that we'll feel, because already before Trent went there, for me, that's one of the clubs I want to beat the most, because like I said, the pain they've caused us in Europe in recent years and what that football club signifies. Like I told you guys, I see some Madrid fans in the building were pissed at me whenever Madrid were playing in the Champions League or whatever, or Barca, for example, in the El Clasico, and I say I'm not for Real Madrid, because also for me, what happened at the Ballon d'Or ceremony, for me, that's like one of the most disgraceful things I've seen in football. It's never happened before in football. To not show up at a ceremony because your butt hurt that one of your players didn't win it and finish second, like for me, that was like next level loss of respect for that football club and the egos around. Like I'm just like, Jesus, like it's so petty, like Jesus Christ, like freaking show up when there's a player that's freaking deserving of it too. Rodri is a top player, and look what Vinny's doing this season, by the way. So yeah, Zach says Liverpool versus Madrid Champions League final 2026. I'll be there, bro. I would lose my mind. Oh my god. Oh my god, I would be so pent up. Jesus, I would be so pent up. Sonny says Salah is the clear option for vice captain for next season. Alisson is a good call, but the only option for me is Mo. Yusuf says his role, his influence, his level, he redefined the fullback position. The way he would dictate the field and ping passes was just extraordinary. We can never replacement. Joe says, I think we all knew deep down that it was going to happen. Still hurts seeing it unfold in real time. Exactly, Joe. Like, I think I knew deep down, but I was also deluding myself to think that he would change his mind last minute. Seeing the scenes as well last Sunday and how much it means to win for Liverpool Football Club, I thought that could have had an impact, but clearly his mind was already made, you know. But Yusuf, you're exactly right. He's redefined the fullback position, and anybody saying, oh, but he wasn't that good, he's a liability, this and that, nah, bro, I'm not having it. You can't change your mind now. Like all of us Liverpool fans that defended him all these years, saying that yes, he's not the best defensively, but what he provides forward more than makes up for it. You think now just because he's leaving and I'm hurt, I'm going to change my mind on that? Like, I'm not that. Come on, bro. Like, we can't forget the player that he is. He's world class. For me, there's no doubt that he's the best right back in the world in terms of when you think about the whole package and how much of it of an X factor player he is. There's no one can do what he can do, and that won't change. And do I think he's going to be successful with Real Madrid? Probably. The reason I think he probably will be is because the players that can run in behind with the passes that he plays, the likes of Vini, Rodrigo, Mbappe, they will thrive on his passes. And it hurts to say that because I don't want to see Real Madrid be successful, but I do think he's going to succeed at Real Madrid. Why? Because they'll know that defensively that's not his forte. So they'll make up for it by having, for example, Valverde on the right side of midfield, like we had Hendo over the years, who would basically protect and shield that right-hand side. I think that's what Real Madrid will do. They'll accept that defensively they'll be weaker on that side, and they'll do everything to kind of compensate for that, for him to just do his stuff on the attacking side of things. And that's why I'm sorry, I do think he's going to be successful at Real Madrid as well. Mr. Jemson's actually, I never defended Trent. That means I can criticize him now. Well, I'm not going to be. I defended Trent over the years. I always defended Trent even when he didn't put on the best performances, because I always believed, and Klopp always said this too, that the stuff he brought for us on the attacking side of things was just on a different level. Yes, Patrick, that's what I'm talking about. Patrick says, I know Trent's leaving, but I'm going golfing later, so I'm moving on very quickly. It's still a good day for me regardless. Golf plus 22 degrees, a good day. Patrick, that's the vibes. That's the vibes. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. Toby, thanks again for the super chat. It says, Darwin about to go to Saudi and cook Trent at the Club World Cup. Well, they're not going to be there yet for this Club World Cup. Trent won't get the emotion or the thrill of Liverpool at Real Madrid. Not even close. He's doing it for the money, because how could you leave this? Jeff, I really don't think he's doing it for the money. I really don't think he's doing it for the money because, like, Liverpool, we're going to offer him huge wages. And the difference between those contracts isn't astronomical. I truly think he's excited about living in Spain, about the lifestyle of Madrid, the brand deals you can get. Yes, it's true, you get more money with the brand deals, but it's more like the ego fulfillment of playing for Real Madrid is different level. There's no doubt that it's the biggest football club in the world. That, like, again, no matter how much I dislike Real Madrid, I'm not deluded that Real Madrid is really the biggest club in the world. And so imagine what that can do to your ego, to say the biggest club in the world wants you, is willing to give you a 6-year deal, all of these things. But I really don't think it's money related. I really don't think so. Like, seriously. Maka is already taking the quarters for us. And LFC Avery, he freaking got an assist this weekend for Virgil's header as well. We'll see, Zach. I don't know, Jeff. There's a lot of reasons, but there's a lot of reasons, but there's a lot of reasons why he would end up moving, but I really don't believe that it's money is the main thing, because like I said, the most reliable reports are saying that Trent was offered huge wages by Liverpool, and that he told them no matter how big of wages, it kept increasing because they would have made several offers. He always knew that he wanted this new challenge and to go for this opportunity. Yo, Leo, you're still going to wear your Trent top? Oh, God, Sophia, I haven't thought about that. Oh, God. The moment I opened Insta and saw Trent posted a video, I knew it was over. Oh, God. Evie is cool. Thank you for the super chat. He says Maka is better at quarters anyways. The Prem is way more competitive than La Liga. I agree. I definitely agree. But what's tough is like the pressure of playing for Real Madrid is different level. Like I said, if you have one bad game for Real Madrid, the fans go at you, which Liverpool fans don't do. The only thing I think we Liverpool fans do, which I think is so fair, is if a player doesn't give everything. Like, you remember Trent's performance against United? I think we had a right to be angry about that performance because obviously his mind was somewhere else for that performance. But I think if you wear the Liverpool shirt and you don't give it your all and you have this like nonchalance on the pitch, that I think we have a right to be angry about. But if you give your all and you don't perform, like for example, Darwin Núñez, look at the support of the fans for Darwin Núñez over the years. He hasn't performed for us on the pitch. He's had many low points, and yet we've stuck with him. Why? Because you can tell he's desperate to succeed. He's desperate to give it his all for the club, and that for me is what makes Liverpool Football Club so special. There's very few fans around the world where no matter how kind of a rough spell a player is going through, we stick by them if they just show that utmost desire to give it everything for the club. And I think the moments where Trent got a lot of hate, it was after that United performance, and rightfully so, because there was just so much nonchalance about the performance. You know what I mean? Off topic, but did you know You'll Never Walk Alone was the #2 trending song on Insta? I love it. Yeah, I mean, Jeff, I really don't like that club either. So I can't understand. I can't understand it. But yeah, what I do agree with some of you guys that are saying that he shouldn't start for the rest of the season, I definitely agree with that. Now that Conor Bradley is fully fit, I don't see why we would need to play him again. When, you know what I mean? Or do you guys think that's too harsh? I personally think there's no need to play him again. Yeah, nah. Jeff, don't worry. I definitely know that I'm going to be moving on and many of us will be moving on. Trust me. Trust me. I am not going to be fussed from tomorrow on, but obviously today I'm going to feel the emotions, and that's just my life philosophy in everything. In everything. Just like I told you guys, I think a good example to put it, and I know you guys will be able to relate to this because it's a universal thing. When I've lost friends in the past, like I said, I've lived in 3 different countries already, and I've lived in quite a few different cities. I've lost friends over the years. When I've lost certain friends that maybe didn't want to continue a friendship, I felt that sadness, but then I'm going to move on because, like I said, if someone isn't fully interested, if it's not a two-sided thing, just like Kira, it wouldn't have been two-sided, he didn't want to stay, then I just say ciao. And in the moment, it feels sad because it's like, it's the end. You know what I mean? It's the end of an era. It's the end of a beautiful story in some ways. But after that, not going to be fussed because our future is freaking bright and that's all I care about. We're Premier League freaking winners. We've won the league for a record 20th time. You think I'm going to let news like this make me sulk or be depressed? Like, hell nah. No chance. No chance. But today, I'm going to feel the emotions because this player has meant so much to me. I mean, literally, you guys want to see who's on the back of this season's kit? This is who I got. That's how confident I was that he would stay at the beginning of the season. That's who I have on the back. So, of course, he means something to me. And look at the pictures I have in the background. Like, he's meant the world to me. You know, and I know I'm not the only ones. To so many of you guys, he's meant the world, you know? And that's why I'm gonna feel those sad emotions. But am I gonna feel anger? I'm not gonna feel anger because I think that's a waste of an emotion. That's a waste of energy, in my opinion. because like I said, he's made his decision now and it's not going to change. So we just got to move on. Ross, thank you for the super chat, who says to have won everything he can at the age of 26, Madrid has come at a great time. Thank you, Trent, and good luck. I'm not feeling well already, and now I found out that he's actually leaving. Bro, what do I do with this shirt now? What do I do with this shirt now, guys? Oh, God. I don't know, bro. Do you have the Trent mug? I also have a Trent mug, bro. I don't know what to do. Bro, what do I do with this stuff? Because I don't want reminders all over the place. Just keep it in memory of him. Oh God, I don't know. Clayton says, when they announced it on Sky Sports, I thought, why is this news? I don't hate Trent. It's all Real Madrid's personality. Oh, now I'm going to be so excited for us to play Real Madrid in the Champions League, bro. I'm going to be so excited. And guys, do you remember when I made that video too? Recreating Trent's corner taken quickly. Oh God. I even got Trent's shoes. Oh God, bro. Nah, I'm definitely not gonna frame it. Frame it is maybe going too far. Bro, I'm so hyped. Look, this is really well said by Beth as well. Beth Lindop, who says Trent has had a stellar career for Liverpool and is entitled to decide he wants to change. It's his life. Equally, supporters have a right to be upset and disappointed to be losing one of their own. Football is about emotion, and fans should be allowed to express theirs. That's what I was telling you guys. That's what I think. Well, I told you guys. For me, football and supporting a club is an embodiment of life, and I think you should have every right to feel emotions. I think you should have every right to cry if you lose someone in your life that means a lot to you. And for us football fans, like Trent has meant a lot to us, and it's okay to feel those emotions. You know what I mean? But like I said, what I don't think is worth it is to let him ruin our day, ruin our week, be still focused on his decision and Real Madrid and this and that. I think it's like I think the best thing is just to feel the emotions today and then move on from tomorrow, because we're going to be just fine without him. You know what I mean? And all that matters are now the players that want to be here. That's it. Do you think he'll play again? I think he will, because Slot isn't fussed about any emotion or things like that. He's just, I think he doesn't care. But me personally, I wouldn't play him again, just because I like in the 3 games that are remaining, I want to play players who like want to be at the football club, like a Harvey Elliott, like players who want to be here for the future. Exactly, Storm. We have a right. Off topic, but congrats to Harry Kane. Absolutely. Stevie, absolute legend, my brother. My brother, he gave us hope, Leo. That's what I mean. That's where I always had the bit of hope too. I agree. I always had that bit of hope too, but now we're just gonna have to move on, But it definitely freaking hurts. It definitely freaking hurts. And I definitely agree with those of you saying that it was more important for Verge and Salah to stay. I think so, especially in the short term as well. I definitely think so. Nah, Sujal, I definitely don't think Trent will play in the midfield. No chance. They signed him to be a right back because they also apparently Vasquez is going to leave Real Madrid. Carvajal picked up that ACL, so it's going to take him a while to come back from it. Nah, I definitely think he's going to be playing right back for them. No doubt about it. But like I said, they'll play with a right center mid. Probably someone like a Valverde who has crazy stamina, who's going to be able to protect him and shield him on that right hand side when he decides to bombard forward. Like Hendo was for us over the years. Do you think Trent will sign? Yeah, yeah. Josh, definitely we're going to sign a right back. But that doesn't mean he doesn't trust Conor Bradley. Just Conor Bradley needs a backup. He needs someone to compete in that position. But there's no way we'd go the whole season with just Conor Bradley at right back. That's way too dangerous. That's way, way, way too dangerous. Oh God, hello, it's me. Says I was actually planning to buy a Trent shirt before the season. I guess it will now be Conor Bradley one. Yes. Um, Storm says I love United, but I feel sorry for every Liverpool fan. They have such a good fan base and they've backed Trent so much, and this is how he's repaid you. I mean, to be fair, every season he has been with us, he really has given his all and he has delivered for us. So that you like I said, I do think you can thank him for that. But like I said, now it's just time to move on. It's part of life. It's part of life. Joseph, nice to see you in the building. How are you feeling about it all? At least it can go out of our minds for now. Yeah, because before we always had that bit of hope in us. And for me, at least, it's like we don't have to think about that anymore. That's what I kind of like, in a way. Bro, Rodrigo would cost so much money given what Real Madrid will ask for, and that's not the position we need the most. So definitely, I don't see Rodrigo happening this summer, and I don't see Verts happening either. No chance. I think he'll probably go to City, unfortunately, because they're gonna spend big on a player to replace KDB. I love this quote too from King Kenny though. I think I might post this onto Liverpool Goals. King Kenny said, quote, "There's no one anywhere in the world at any stage who is any bigger or any better than this football club." King Kenny. Current Feyenoord right back could be that's more of the type of player that I see us signing than a Frimpong or a Hakimi or some other players that you guys have been mentioning. I think that's much more of like the low-key right back that we would sign, who's young, whose slot can see as a high ceiling, and our scouting department, I think that's definitely the type of right back that we'll sign this summer. That level or that price range, which is probably 15 to 30 million, is probably the price range I think we're going to go for. Sir Alex said no one is bigger than the club. 100%. 100%. Yeah, Ashwini, he would be so good at that. Ashwini says, would Trent play as a right wing back if Xabi Alonso comes to Real Madrid? Definitely he would. And unfortunately, I think he would suit that so perfectly, playing right wing back. But still, that would mean Real Madrid would need to sign a lot of players to change, like that change of formation, with the three at the back and everything. Pedro Porro, I think they would ask for too much money. I don't really see that one happening. No, come on. Nah, bro. Oh God, Kay says I've never cried so much. I'm sorry. Big up Carlito. Isaac, I would sign someone, like I said, who's first and foremost really solid defensively, which Conor Bradley is, and then they can develop their attacking side of the game. So like that's why I personally, I said it before, I personally don't see us going for Frimpong, but I could be wrong. I'm only saying that from just what I've seen from the way Slot uses his fullbacks. You know. When Jurgen Levin was so much. Liverpool released a farewell video for him. Yes, Ashwini, they did. And he released his own on his own social media channel. On the Liverpool one, he said, quote, "I want to say it's not an easy decision and there's a lot of thought and feeling that's gone into it. I've been here 20 years, loved every second minute of it, achieved all my dreams, achieved everything I've ever wanted to here." That's what he said. So it's a pretty brief interview. It's like a minute and 40 seconds. The longer one is the one on his own channels. Riyadh, just really disappointed, but we're going to move on and be just fine. That's how I feel. So from tomorrow on, I'm not going to be thinking about Trent too much anymore. And in a way, I am kind of happy that you guys heard me when we talked about Trent before. I always had this kind of like bit of hope that he would stay, you know. And now the one thing I will say that's kind of nice is the fact that there's no that it's 100% and it's official. So there's just no need to think about it anymore, you know? Yeah, AK2, I don't know what to do. Nah, Yamal is not going to leave Barcelona. Trust me, Yamal is not going to leave Barcelona. They'll always offer him over the years the money that he deserves because they know having generational players like that helps so much for the club. There's no way he ever leaves. That's it. That's it. But yeah, guys, this is going to be the end of the live. This is going to be the end of the live. I just wanted to hop on so that we could, share together how we all feel about it, together. But I'm probably going to be preparing some vids now around all this. So, yeah, guys, we'll be back on the lives very very soon and like I said, tomorrow night for sure and Wednesday night for sure because there's the Champions League action. But yeah, guys, I just wanted us to hop on, be able to share and together in the building, be able to share how we feel. But honestly, we're gonna be fine. Like seriously, guys, don't let this take over your day, your week, the celebrations because this is historical. This is a historical season for Liverpool Football Club, and our future is looking very very bright. Mohamed Salah and Virgil decided to stay at least for another 2 years. That's huge news. We can't forget that. And Trent has decided he doesn't want to continue on at this football club, and we will find a right. I mean, we already have a right back who definitely wants to be at this football club and is giving it his all every single moment, I'm sure, because you see how much it means for him to play, for this team. So that's all I'm going to be focused on now. The fact that we have Conor Bradley, the summer signings we're going to bring in, and how bright our future is. That's all I'm going to be fussed about. But yeah, guys, I hope you are all able to still enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys very very soon. All of you absolute legends. We'll speak very soon, guys. Ciao. You'll never walk alone, guys.